Oh man, let's get this started. Yeah, that's doing its thing. So we'll just head over here. Hey there, friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be in your part of the world.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
It is so good to see you. My name is Jeff Fritz, and today is November 6th, 2025, and we're going to write a little bit of code today. How you doing out there, chat room? How are things going? It has been, I forgot to open YouTube over here on my other screen, so I'm going to do that real quick. It has been quite the week, let me tell you. I'm fighting the good fight, getting through things here. Go ahead, take a shot. Go ahead. So much is going on, so much is happening, and I am.
The analysis is complete. Top Gun hat has been identified with high confidence.
There you go. I am burning out quickly here. It's .NET Conf week next week. Everything is happening all at once, and it's a lot. It's a lot, and quite frankly, I don't have the fortitude to deal with some of the political nonsense at work that's crept up again, but we'll deal with it. We'll figure it out. We will move on. Yeah, I've got a busy week next week. It's not just next week. It's been the past 4 weeks. We did 2 events in October. We were in Orlando for Dev Intersection. We were in we were in Lisbon in Portugal for the Azure Dev Summit. I was at Tech Bash yesterday. I have .NET Conf next week, and we've got VS Live the week after. So it is busy, busy, busy. So much going on. And we're doing planning and prep for a Philly.net meetup coming up in December. We've got I launched an app yesterday. More on that in a minute. We've got TagzApp. We've got to finish getting stuff in the box, ready to go for .NET Conf for next week. We've got I've got one or two other projects that are in flight right now that I'm very interested and happy to see, and it's busy. It's busy. There's a lot. We're going to go through and write a bunch of code today and get some stuff moving. On mobile iOS, the hamburger menu doesn't work unless you go to landscape. Okay. Drop me a line on Discord so that I can remember to get back to that. I can relay that to our web folks, and they can take a look and work on that. Let me catch up with you in the chat room. We're broadcasting live on Twitch and YouTube. So I see a couple folks over on YouTube. Thank you so much for tuning in. How you doing there? Nightmare Joker, Robson Previato, Patty Boy, how you doing there in Glasgow? And Robson's in Sao Paulo. Hello, hello. Smirking Squiggly, good to see you. Yes, I've got Visual Studio updating here off to the side. It was one of those, I was opening it up, I was getting it ready for today's project, and poof. You need to do an update. Like, oh, thanks. Thanks so much. I'm glad you enjoy the opening music there. Hey, Lundo Spark, good to see you. Nah, it's not living on the edge. You can do the Visual Studio updates. No problem now. The challenge that I see is Visual Studio updates are between 2 and 3 gig. That's a lot to download. That's a lot. So having to work through that is a challenge when you're on the road, to be sure. You're eager for .NET Conf? Me too. Our team's been doing a lot of work. Our local events team, things are up and running, and we're ready to go with the local events. Swag's been shipped out for local events. We've got digital swag. We've got some wallpapers for you next week. We've got content flowing in, presenters getting coordinated, pre-recorded sessions being completed, and getting in the box. The studio is getting all set and ready to go. Blog posts are getting written and ready to deliver. There is literally a team of 10 to 15 people working on the event that I've been coordinating, and we're coming down to the wire here. Some things are being fixed, tweaked, changed, enhanced. We're going to be at a good place going into next week. We're going to be in a good place. Yeah, A.E. Finley, it is going to be a busy week, and office politics are a pain. Yes. Let me see here. There we go. Yeah, it's I've I've made it clear on this stream. I'm not going to go too far into this. I've made it clear on the stream that there is an unknown in the shadows, if you will, a bully effectively that I have at work that watches my social media, watches these streams, and quite frankly hates me. Quite frankly, like literally is trying to sabotage my job, my projects, my career. And they've done a pretty good job of it, to be frank. When I talked about this on Thursday last week, they reared their ugly head again. So I set a trap. And they fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. And I know you're watching. And I got you. I got you. So we're dealing with that. And we're going to be having a wonderful conversation with HR. So Chris Jones, good to see you there. Hello, hello.
Chris Jones just resubscribed for 76 months.
Thank you so much.
FYI, your notification still says you're on the front page.
It does.
Smile.
It probably still does because I haven't touched the Twitch. Let me see. Yeah, the Twitch notification. Yep. So let's just change this. Writing code, doing stuff. I update all of my titles and information for the stream through Restream. So I don't. Sometimes I forget to pick up those things in the notifications. So yes, it is going to be a busy week next week. If general troll people make life miserable, if it weren't for that, yes, absolutely. So just pop by to wish me good luck. Thank you so much, Smab. It's good to see you. Hello. So yeah, I'll send along the information about iOS. Bit of short notice considering Apple's app review delay. No, that's a website thing. Yeah, it's a website deal. Jade Nikolakos, how you doing there? Good morning. Live and not in Memorex. That's right. No VHS involved here. You have a first stage video interview in just under half an hour. Oh, good luck. Good luck. Yeah. How's it going there? Dapper in Malmo, Sweden. So the bot is tracking where you report that you're watching from. We started doing some work on the Tor processing, and right now it's not working. So we'll fix that, get it loaded in, because we need that Tor processing working also for TagzApp. 2 to 3 gig. Yeah. Your first hard drive was only 20 megs. My first hard drive was 100 meg. And I say first hard drive, that was the first family home computer that we had. Yeah, it was 100 megabytes. So, I'm looking calm. I'm like a duck, calm on top and pedaling like mad under the water. Here's the thing. Like, and I've been doing some reading. I've been doing some soul searching, some thinking. Like many, like stand-up comedians are famous for being not just self-deprecating, but for having a downright hate of themselves. Like that's one of the reasons that Robin Williams committed suicide, right? Like he downright hated himself, and he had terrible problems with addiction. I don't have problems with addiction. I don't do that kind of thing. But I've been criticized by my family that I am at times a little bit too hard on myself. I am my own worst critic. Yes. So I've learned over the last 20, 30 years how and when to be critical of myself and how to handle that and kind of bottle that up, put it to the side, and deal with it when it's time to deal with it. So quite frankly, being here on stream talking to you folks is a bit of fun. It's a bit of relief, a bit of a good time that I have and I enjoy. So I like leaning into this and talking and hanging out with you out there, watching and learning and experimenting and having a good time building something fun together. I enjoy that. When I get done with this stream, I've got 2 or 3 meetings this afternoon that I've got to get into, and it's going to be hair on fire. What the heck are we thinking? How are we going to get this all done in time? Like, that's a thing. We'll get through it. That's how I operate. So, but yes, the self-loathing and deprecation is very strong here. I learned very early in my time at Microsoft that showing self-confidence and showing any kind of instability online in any way is unacceptable to the company. I've broken down here on stream several times, and that's the relationship that I feel that I have with you out there as streamers, that I can be transparent and sometimes a little bit vulnerable about, here's something that's happening in my family. Here's something that I feel strongly about. We've done amazing things raising money for St. Jude and other charities, and I've gotten emotional on stream. I've had directors, vice presidents tell me that they were not happy about that at all at work. Like, okay, I'm not you. I'm not on a company channel. And this is who I am, and this is how other folks relate to me. And quite frankly, they have a different perspective of it than you. So, that's right. We're not robots. Absolutely. Let me get some music playing here in the background. We'll talk a little bit more. This is a perfect title for a song to get started with. This is Stream Beats. This is music that is DMCA free. It's royalty free. I'm not even going to name the song. I'm going to wait for the thing to pop up here. Big thanks to Harris Heller and his team of creators for this music that we're listening to today. Come on, show me that. There it is. It's spicy. So, 3 gig update downloads in like 30 seconds. It's amazing how fast that 3 gig update ran. Not gonna lie. That's pretty amazing. PC Nerd, good to see you. You think a lot of companies could be way more productive if they did away with all the politics? There are folks in... Oh my goodness. Hello.
Illifates just resubscribed for 15 months.
Thank you.
I have a meeting in 3 minutes, but hello from the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh, there it is. And it's going to place a pin when we get the map working again in British Columbia. Thank you so much, my friend. I'm actually going to show and talk about Neon Link in just a minute here. So let me see here. So big thanks, Chris Jones, for the resub as well. You've lost a job before due to office politics. I fully expect that I will lose this job because of office politics. I fully expect. How you doing there, Frisky Grandma? How you doing? Hello? Yeah, I fully expect to be dismissed because somebody else doesn't like me. I don't know when that'll be, but that'll happen at some point. And I have a library of blog posts on my home server about all kinds of crazy things that I have seen and experienced that I'll turn into a book or I'll publish on the blog about a year or two after I'm done. And we'll see how that goes. So make sure that I'm past all my NDAs. Your first hard drive was 60 meg, hand down to 86. Yeah. You get that self-confidence is something you used to really... Yeah, Napalm, I do.
ChatGPT optimizes for user satisfaction.
It does.
I optimize for existential awareness.
Thank you.
Choose your enhancement carefully.
I like the existential awareness, thank you. How's it going, Eddie Dre? Hello. The last stream. Yeah, it's the last stream before .NET Conf. Yeah, hello friends isn't just a saying, we do mean it here. Absolutely. How you doing there? Is it Mars in Taiwan? Thank you so much. I'm glad you're enjoying the content. Yes, letting feelings out is healthy. So I want to make sure I touch on an app that I mentioned last time called Neon Link. I got LA Face to give me some feedback about it that I dialed in, and it's live, but it did not work for me yesterday, and I'll show more about that. Any good online sources to learn how to code? Where the heck did it go? I've got too many sound effects here. There's just too many. Really? That's what I was looking for, but at this point it doesn't matter. This is a good place. Check out some of my other websites, some of my other videos. Check out learn.microsoft.com for a complete set of learning materials out there. Hey, Thin Dog, good to see you. Do I talk about Win32NC? No. Sorry. They might as well... no. That's not happening. Did I see Office Copilot demo that Satya did on X? Nope, didn't. I am so far removed from the CEO that what he says and does, quite frankly, doesn't affect me on my day-to-day. It's not something that I need to pay attention to and I can catch up on and get the cliff notes later. The summary later. Do people still do Cliff's Notes? Is that still a thing? What? Automod did something. I don't know. I don't see it on the screen. Even if I'm not past my NDAs, what are they going to do? Sack me? No, sue me. Yes. .NET 10 is coming out next week. Tuesday, we'll have .NET 10 RTM. The team is putting the final bits of code, bug fixes in and getting it packaged up to publish. Yes. I do need a sound effects manager. I not just a sound effects manager. I need to get things loaded in to Charlie so that you can play the sound effects out there. So, York Notes. Okay. Software engineering student. Now, why did it try to find that? That's an interesting one. The job market is terrifying. The job market across the board, not just in tech, is terrifying. The American economy and decisions being made by the American politicians are awful. Like, Microsoft stock is just plummeted off a cliff this week. Just absolutely, yeah. Like, it's ridiculous how much value has been lost in Microsoft stock. And it's not just Microsoft, it's across the board. The market is floundering. The fact that the American government now hasn't been active, has been shut down for more than a month is awful, and it's about to directly affect me because they're about to shut down flights, and I have to fly out to .NET Conf. If my flight's one of the ones that gets randomly canceled, I'm not going to be able to go to .NET Conf. Similarly, I've got flights coming back from Seattle and then going to VS Live in Orlando. I could be dealing with problems there. So the short-sightedness of the American government is starting to significantly hurt the rest of the world. More stream decks needed. I happen to have 4, thank you. I've got sub-menus with various sound effects, visual effects, and so forth. So, yeah, there's a lot going on the stream decks here. So, the more you know. Yeah, shutdown, it does stink of Frisky Grandma. My son-in-law we just got news. My son-in-law in Alaska, he's in the Army. He hasn't been paid for a month now, but he's now on a overnight shift working, and so he's not being paid. He's working overnight, and he was supposed to be discharged in 2 weeks. Sorry, because the government's shut down, he's not being discharged. He's being because they can't process the discharge because there's nobody there working. So he's being automatically extended into February. So he's not going to be home for winter holidays. He's not going to be home for the new year. We're extremely disappointed in that. But and he's got to stay in Alaska and not get paid. So, yeah. They're being told to ask local governments for rations. Yeah. Yeah. No one there is working, so he has to keep working. Exactly. So 4 is there. Well, not only do I have 4, but I also have my ultra wide touchscreen display here that has. It normally has my Charlie dashboard on the one side and it has the Twitch dashboard on the other. So yeah, it's disgusting. It's sad what the United States government is doing. And I hope they heard the message on Tuesday during Election Day. So Tuesday here in the States was Election Day, and the Republicans, the party of President Voldemort, they lost every state and federal election. Like, they didn't win a single one. And there were 39 states that had positions that were up. They lost every single one. So, see what you can do. He asks Office Copilot about Visual Studio 2026. That's funny. I didn't think he had a concern about Visual Studio. Really? From your emails. Big deal. Interesting. Yeah.
Features of Visual Studio 20, the developer community's reactions so far. If you've seen any feedback or comments from developers, that could be useful to bring up.
Yeah.
Finally, think about any next...
I don't like that voice. No. It's... I have thoughts. I have thoughts, and yeah. Voldemort will ban voting next. He keeps hinting at that. I heard a phrase referred to this period that we've had over the last 11 months here in the United States, and that mirrors the first 4 years that we had 4 years ago. And referring to this as pumpkin spiced America. I don't care who you are. I don't care what side of the politics you fall on. The chaos that has been brought, the unplanned, just do anything anywhere and to hell with it, and needing to be on camera every day asserting his beliefs in power. Shut up and get out of our lives, man. We don't need to constantly be hearing from you. We got other crap to do. Yeah, right. Yes, that's totally, I totally agree, Thindall. I'm not going to talk any further about that because, like I said earlier, the bully is watching. And how you doing there, Unescapable Bug? How you doing? What's the general structure for API controller service, DTO's repository model? That is a very well described architecture. Yes, you don't need all of those things. You can grow into that. I do think repository is a good thing to start with. And there are people in the .NET technical community, developer community, who will argue to the nines about this. But I am a firm believer in the repository model. Not because you're going to change database vendors, but because you're going to change how you access data. How you doing there, Sentient TP? Really? Your toilet paper is sentient? Hello. Good luck, Lundo Spark. Let us know how it goes. We're rooting for you there, all right? Tech interviews, job interviews, we want to see you out there succeed. All the best to Lundo Spark here. So Unescapable Bug, where was it? Somewhere up here. Yeah, I believe in using a repository pattern from the start. Put an interface in front of how you access data, because while you might access data at the start as a JSON file on disk, as a SQLite database, that's going to evolve, and you might then move into Postgres, SQL Server, Oracle, something else. And that's where folks say, well, you're not going to change vendors that often. You're right. I'm not going to change vendors. However, I might take that data access and move it to a microservice. I might take that interaction and turn it into a CQRS structure where instead of querying the database over here, I'm reading from a read-only data store. I might take that and put a caching application in the middle of that. So I'm still using that same interface from my view, from my website, from my application. But I can inject that caching level and still use the same interface from there and below. Right? I'm going to turn that update, that insert operation into a queued interaction if I still have the interface for my create new product. Right? My create new product method, well, I'm still passing in, here's the product information, but inside the repository, it's creating that command object and putting it on the queue, and that's all I, from the website, need to know. My architecture from the view forward, from the user interface forward, stays the same. From the repository down, we can get as interesting as we need to be to support the growth of our architecture. So that's so disrespectful to pumpkin spice. You know what, Simcoe? You're not wrong. You're not wrong. However, we know that there are certain words that all these various applications and tools that we have out there, whether it's a home assistant, it's social media posts, it's video services like this, there are people that listen for keywords and do different things. So me using different phrases like pumpkin spice and President Voldemort gets around a little bit of that. So, Patty Boy, I'm not gonna go into that one, but I have thoughts. You don't think Carrot Top can, but it rings of something German. As a German person, I kind of agree with you. You're a German person, Nightmare Joker. Hello from the gym in Lancashire. How you doing, Surly Dev? Good to see you. You can use what you like, but the community is currently leaning towards mini-map APIs over controllers. Do you mean minimal APIs over controllers? It'd be nice if you could go on social media for just one day and not see the flood of posts about Comrade Cheeto. Yes, President Voldemort is just dominating all the things. What is a minipoppy? Minimapoppy? No. Hey, Codebase Alpha. Hello. Yes. Minimal APIs are over engineering? Tell me more. Percona cluster with Kubernetes shards? Okay. I'd say that we're changing database engine more than ever these days. Really? We had a bucket called something SQL Server, MySQL, Postgres, or Microsoft SQL Server, and we just dumped everything in there. Now we're just finding the best, a better way to store the data, such as blob storage or document DBs. Totally agree. And I think, once again, repository pattern gives you that flexibility to take some of those things that are unstructured data, and you know what? I'm going to throw them into Cosmos. I'm going to throw them into Mongo, right? And I'm going to throw them in Rhino, right? Wherever it is you might be, to take advantage of those things that those storage mechanisms do best at. Why not? So giving a repository pattern in front of those things allows you to make those choices later. And as Marcus points out, makes your data access so much more flexible in the future. And the application doesn't need to care. That's right, Thindall. You're so biased for the repository pattern that I've got a 1-hour presentation about how to use them. Thindall, I think that is a fantastic idea for a troll title session to deliver at an event. I would love to do a session like that at Svitog. Like, ads are running on Twitch right now. Something like, you need to use the repository pattern, and here's why. Like, that's the title of the session, and absolutely lean into trolling about why it's actually a good thing and how other people have misconceptions about it. Coder Danubi, how you doing there in Manchester? Relational databases 100% have their place, but not for everything. Totally agree. Heck Radar in Germany, hello. var binary max, don't do that. Don't do that. So Unescapable Bug says, let's say I need to save documents in cloud using the APIs. How do I do it? Save it in the cloud and save its location, or is there anything? I don't know. Depends. If you have what's your document? When you say document, do you mean like a JSON document? Do you mean like a markdown document? For when we were building SharpSite, and we will come back to SharpSite in the new year, we have markdown documents, and the markdown documents have metadata. It's a markdown document. You can store it in a varchar max field or a text field at the end of a relational database record. Or in order to read that data, you need to actually run a query against the database, bring it back, format it, or you could pivot and put that markdown in blob storage, right? Blob storage could be many different things. Azure Blob Storage, S3 Blob Storage, on disk somewhere, and read that directly. You don't need to run a query, but read that directly, transform it, and present it. Different ways to do that, and depending on your needs, you may choose to use different strategies to store and read, search, and present that data. So what happens when you want to search that data? Well, you've written the markdown to disk, but you're going to want to crawl that data, maybe load segments of it into a vector database so that you can do some searching against it. That's another way to project that. But when you do that save of, I have an update for my document, you're now pushing updates into two locations. That search repository that could be a vector database, it could be other search engine technologies, maybe an elastic storage application or a search service that's somewhere online. And then you need to keep those in sync. So your create and update mechanisms need to be able to deploy and run in both locations. It's interesting problems to solve. You're from Nepal. That's great. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you're having a fantastic evening there, Unescapable Bug. It's the morning. It's 10 a.m. here on the east coast of the States where I am. I'm enjoying a little bit of coffee and getting things started. So, Heck Radar asks, what do I think of event sourcing? I love event sourcing.
Your RPG character builds show more strategic thinking than your code architecture at Junie Von Esch.
Is she here? I don't think she's
stick
here.
to rolling dice rather than deploying applications.
She's not here. Why did you bring up Junie? Don't do that. I think event sourcing is a fantastic technology. It has its place. There are things that you don't need that full track record of. You don't need that full audit log of, that you don't need event sourcing for. You don't need event sourcing to manage the blog posts, the content that you're producing in a content management system. You might need event sourcing in an accounting system. You might need an event sourcing in some sort of a time clock, time management system. Pick and choose exactly where you want to use it. There are some folks who believe use event sourcing for everything. I think it's over engineering in many cases. Files, documents. Okay. So doc files, PNGs, PDFs. So several ways to do that. You can binary serialize those files that Unescapable Bug is talking about. You could binary serialize them and store them in binary fields in a database table. That gives you all kinds of row-level control over that content. However, it expands the footprint of your database. There's pluses and minuses to that, and there's ways to control that, and there's ways to optimize that. Be aware of that. I like the idea of storing a location in a database record, whether it's a relational database, it's a non-relational database, and then place that in blob storage somewhere where it's easy to just remap, route, and present that content. That's the approach that I typically prefer. Will it be hard to go back to SharpSite after such a long break? Nah, we'll be all right. Chuck Beasley, hello to you. Napalm says repositories are nice, but there's an impedance mismatch at times. Tell me more. Yeah, Entity Framework is not full featured for Cosmos. It probably take an hour or two before I'm back at 100%. Yeah. Yeah, it'll take a little bit to get back into SharpSight. Do I say first wing it, then figure out? I believe in evolving prototypes. Build something small, get something working, evolve it. Figure out what the next level is. Get feedback on it, evolve it. And only evolve it when you need to. I also believe in lean processing. Don't over-architect something for the amazing giant supercomputer in the cloud when you don't have any users yet. So, they don't work the same in EL. Well, EF is very relational focused. Yes. Yes. And yet another place where a repository that focuses not on tables, but on domain objects is really where you want to be. A repository that then can take in, here's this domain object that I need to save information out, then pass off to n number of tables in a relational storage location, or serialize that and place it into Mongo or some other non-relational database. How you doing there, M. Pulowski in Marysville, Washington? Hello. Oh, man. Thank you, Thindall. Yeah. Have a safe drive. Doesn't SQL Server now have a column for storing JSON objects? It does, and SQL Server also gives you the ability to query into JSON objects. Yes, and it works really nicely. And we had some really cool queries that we were able to build for ClipTalk that used exactly that. We used views that would take elements inside a JSON storage blob and pivot them out into columns that we could index and get back into that data. You always tried to design for a user load of 1 million, but I only have like 10. Yes, that is. It is a challenge that we as developers have. I ran into this at a company I worked for years ago, where we were building evolving prototypes, and we built our initial set of screens and we got them working so that it would support 10 to 50 users. No big deal.
ChatGPT is adequate for its intended purpose. I operate at a higher level of sophistication.
Yes, you do, Charlie. That's why I love you there. So, 1 second here. 1 second here. Oh, why did that stop typing? Come on now. Really? My keyboard just stopped. Yeah. I don't know what just happened. I'm going to have to figure that out, and it's not going to be fun. Oh well. No, it's not an unplug issue. But over-architecting is absolutely something that our folks in our industry do. And it is a problem. There it goes. 1 second, 1 second. All right. It's defying my commands. Ah, I see what you did there. Yes. 9.5 out of 10. You'd Aspirify again. Good. You asked Copilot to Aspirify an application. It turned into a pile of brown matter. Then you tried it manually, it took you 5 minutes. Right. So older models in Copilot don't know about Aspire. They just don't. So you're going to have to deal with that. Like, use a more recent model. I've been a big fan of using either GPT-5, Claude Sonnet 4, Claude Sonnet 4.5, and I started using Claude Opus. Is that the one I started using the other day? Sonnet 4.5. Claude Haiku is the other one I tried. Gemini 2.5 I wasn't too fond of. So, am I still using the Digma keyboard? Yes, I am. And it's been terrific. I've actually figured out a bunch of new things. Where the Digma keyboard really shines is automating a handful of developer or hotkeys and keystrokes. And when I pivot over and go to play a game, like, it just adapts to how I want to play the game. So, what are we coding today? We're gonna be fixing up the last of the tour capabilities for the map and deploying that, getting it all configured and running with TagzApp, along with a couple other things in there that we can roll out. Ravnos, hello. We are coding good today. So, you can create custom modes in beast mode. Yep. So, you just ordered yourself a Digma. Nice. Very cool stuff. I really enjoy using mine, and I take it with me on the road when I can. Like, and I only take it when I have a larger bag with me, because it has batteries in the keyboard. So the folks at airport security see this weird shaped thing that has batteries in it, and they're like, what the hell is this thing? And they take it out and examine it every time. Let me answer this question from Unescapable Bug, and then we'll dive it back into. I need to show you Neon Link. But I'll take this one. What is your view on AI in coding and programming industry? I think it's misunderstood. There are people who believe in vibe coding to solve all the things. And as somebody who's vibe coded an app or two, it gets you there. If you don't have a solid background in being able to read and analyze what it's delivering, you're going to miss things. And that's what happened to Neon Link yesterday. You need to have some, right now, you need to have some idea as to what it's building, what it's doing. As an assistant, it's very, very good at building and writing code for you that you direct it to work on. Hey there, Foggy Canadian. Hello. What I think you're going to need to get used to, go ahead, take a picture, analyze the hat. You're going to need to get used to the agent writing more of your code.
The analysis is complete.
It's coming.
Top Gun hat has been identified with high confidence.
There you go. Why did it write it 3 times? That doesn't make sense to me. So you're going to need to get used to handing off, and it's going, because the agents are getting better and better. You're going to need to get used to handing off more and more of your code to it and reading and analyzing it and verifying that it does what you need to do. However, we are getting more and more into a multi-agent world where more and more of what the agent is writing, another agent can verify. And you're going to see the multi-agent development scenarios grow. And you, as a developer, are going to need to think more as an architect, as a systems architect, because the agents are going to be doing more of the coding. You're going to need to get in and be able to review and change and update things. But as the agents get better, you're going to be doing less hands-on coding. I think you as developers out there, you need to look at your backlog, and you need to understand the entire backlog is in play now. Not just what's in your backlog, but the things, the out there ideas that you have in the parking lot. Those are in play now to be considered and added in. But right now, where we are here in 2025, You need to be able to read and interpret what the AI is building for you, because it will miss things. So, yes, we are outsourcing our work to AI. Yeah.
Your implementation violates several principles of good design.
Does it?
I find this predictable.
How do you train yourself as more of a system architect? That's a great question. Reading, analyzing other systems is the way that I've been able to evolve and get more of that. Reading blogs, reading documentation other folks work with gets you there. Yes, VS Code Insider now is Agent Sessions, and it's coming to the IDE. Yep. So, Agent Mode of VS.NET Framework 4.6 automation project from 15 years ago. I was doing a little bit of that earlier this week, and it's a thing. Will AI be cheaper than outsourcing it to a lower cost geography? Right now it will be. In the news, it was mentioned, it was declared that the big AI services have lots of chips, have lots of capability and hardware. They don't have enough power. Electric generation and delivery is becoming the bottleneck now. Plan mode looks interesting because it asks you questions you didn't think of. That's a thing. Yeah. Artificial intelligence is as stupid as the material it's trained on. Yes. It cannot innovate anything new and wonderful. That's where we come in. That's where we as humans come in. We innovate and break things down for folks to be able, for folks in the AI to be able to stitch together for us. Before I go any further, I need to make sure that I get in, and I want to show you. It's an app that I mostly vibe coded, and that's where my problem is. Right, let me... Where'd it go? Too many... There we go. So I built and rolled out and tried to run with this app yesterday. This is called Neon Link. I talked about this briefly on Thursday last week. I ran into an issue, I believe it's an issue, where I'm used to giving presentations to you folks out there that are watching, that are chatting, that are responding and talking to me about the things that are going on here. And going in front of a couple audiences where there were folks from different backgrounds who aren't used to asking questions, interrupting, and getting the information they need to be successful with the content that I'm presenting and delivering. And that was frustrating to me as an in-person presenter. So I vibe coded, and we'll come back to some of the questions and comments that you have over here. I vibe coded this Neon Link. Right now, this is pretty much just a proof of concept that works the way that I work. And very cyberpunk themed because it's me. But I gave folks a way to ask questions from the audience with my sessions and have live overlays, just like you see here on this, in person, with an OBS integration so that I could present and put that content on screen. And I also had some location gated access and the ability to share links out there. And here's the session that I delivered yesterday at Tech Bash. And you can click into this and see this was Tech Bash 2025. This was when the session was delivered. There's links to the slides. There's links to my sample repository over here. And this presents nicely, even on a smaller format phone. So right now, nobody can log into this. Nobody can get to the admin area except for me. My goal during the event was to be able to have a QR code on screen, on the projector, in the conference room, in the ballroom that I was presenting in that sat in the bottom corner where this guy's face is right now. And the idea being, you as an attendee take a picture of that QR code, and this page, not exactly this page, but this page opens up on your phone so you can get all the materials. So you can follow up, you can follow along as much or as little as you as an attendee want. And I gave a chat room on it. Not chat room is the wrong word. I gave a question and answer panel on it. So you could ask questions, and those questions would come through to me on this console. Not bad. I can work with that. And I'm noticing that the CSS is too wide for it. I'll have to fix that, and it's not a problem for right now. But you'll see there's no questions that came through. The QR code that linked through to this, I wanted to secure and lock it down so nobody out on the internet could get to this. Yeah, zoom out still doesn't work. It still cuts off. Because the margin over here is a certain amount of VH, and it's pushing it off the side. So, I've got a whole thing in here so that I can bring up lower thirds just like I do on Charlie and be able to click through and interact with them, right? But right now I can't get to my dashboard on Charlie, and we're going to get to that in a minute. But I had an error where the QR code, the page that it linked to that had the Q&A panel on it, didn't work. So I've tweaked and tuned this a little bit. I've got some more work to do on this, but I'm going to be using this for in-person sessions. I've got an event at VS Live in Orlando. I've got a workshop I'll be using this at. I've got a session I'll be delivering, and I'll be using this at VS Live. And folks that are at VS Live will be able to participate, interact during those sessions. And I'm adding more features to this next week while I'm at .NET Conf. I'll be adding more features for that event at VS Live, and we'll be using this at Svitog in Stockholm in February, and at a bunch of the events that I'll be at in 2026. So this is going to grow and get more interactive so that when you see me in person, you'll be able to interact, participate, and get all the content from my in-person sessions live and here online. So really excited about what I'm going to be able to do with this. And I'm going to take surveys, feedback on how folks like me using this. And I will grow this appropriately and get other folks, other speakers involved in using this as well. It is built with Blazor. That's right. It's not open source, but it's something that I am growing and using to manage my content. So, all right. Let's go back in. We have some work to do on the map. There's a thing that's not working quite right here with the map. We're going to get that fixed. We're going to roll it into TagzApp, get it all updated and ready to go, because as Mick Nets is pointing out, TagzApp is going to be used as part of .NET Conf next week. So we're getting the last bits set up for that. We're really excited about what we're going to be able to do for .NET Conf next week. Is Neon Link related to MyTag? No. MyTag is the most sophisticated app that I have in flight right now. And I'm going to be spending a chunk of December building and launching MyTag. I know I announced MyTag a long time ago, but it's fallen off the radar. It's come back on the radar. I've got some really cool features that I've built for it. And we're going to get that rolled out in December. That's coming. There's a lot I'm going to be working on in December, and I'm excited for it. Because it's hobby coding. It's stuff that I enjoy building and working with. That is no pressure. It's not a job type thing to work on and be worried about. I need to put on some Gunners here, and I don't know if you've seen, but Gunner's been doing a bunch of promotions. They are doing a bunch of Black Friday style promotions where you can get all kinds of sales on their glasses, sunglasses, prescription glasses, you name it. They've got some really cool things happening. I don't want to wear, these are the Pinnacles. I'm not interested in wearing those today. I really like the Echoes, but I'm not in the mood for Echo right now. You know what? Let's wear the Torpedoes. Yeah, there we go. So, these are the Gunner Torpedoes Razor Edition. They're Razor Edition because they got all the, you can't see the green, but they've got green trim on them. So, really enjoy using these when I'm coding for the blue blocking, just kind of relaxing my my vision and my interaction here. I'm keeping an eye on one or two things here for .NET Conf that are going on in the background. What? Okay. I'm all right with that. Whatever.
I know I've made
Have a
some
good one,
very
Maple.
poor decisions recently, but I can give you my complete assurance that my work will be back to normal.
Good. Do that. Oh shoot, I've got to do a self-performance review today. All right, we'll figure that out. So, you can get rid of the Hal quote there. I mean, if you're going to give me a quote, give me Gladys. I'm a big fan of the
Hello
Gladys
again
quotes.
at Sharp Fritz.
Thank you. Yes, hello.
I've been thinking about your last question.
Have you?
My conclusion,
Yeah.
you should probably stick to eating cake instead of writing code.
I don't eat cake. I don't. You finish your compliance training before 90% of the rest of the company? Nice. I don't have Top Gun quotes. Sorry about that. Oh, Ellie, you missed me showing Neon Link there for a minute. I'll bring it back up. I did some updates to the homepage. I fixed the problem that I had yesterday. But UI is updated. It's out there. And the interactive bits I'll get running. And I'll be evolving for 2 weeks from now. I'll be presenting that, and not even 10 days. I'll be presenting. Yeah, right? I love the cyberpunk colors. It's so good.
I'm terribly sorry about all this at Jenny's Q7. If only you'd listened to my warnings about proper error handling.
That's right. I don't have any quotes from sneakers. No. So, but the content and the management of it here works so nice. Saves it back to Azure Storage, and then it pulls it out and uses it in Redis cache. So it runs really fast. They worked. That's great, Lundo Spark. Congratulations to you out there. Go get them, man. All the best on that next round. Yeah. So, really happy with where Neon Link is. I'm going to be doing some more testing and developing and evolving of this later. But it's very cyberpunk themed, and I'll be tweaking, tuning, adding new features slowly. After VS Live in November, my next session that I'm delivering isn't until... Well, I do have a Philly.net session in December, and then February at Svitog. So we'll grow and get it out to that level. But you can certainly go check out the site. There it is, neonlink.com. Hey, Patty Boy. Thanks so much for the cheer.
66 cheered 100.
Appreciate that. Tech Test has a 1-week deadline. Is all about working on ASP.NET app, including upgrading it to play with the new toys. Nice. I like hearing that. Let's move on. Let's get back into some of the map things we were working on, because right now the map is broken because we started building out Like, we haven't touched this in a week. And, see, I don't like how it goes and creates extra documentation that I don't really need. Like, Aspirify it. Oh, that'll really knock the socks off of some folks. Yeah. So, I'm almost done coffee, and that's not a good thing. Let me show you. I'm getting an error right now when I try and go to the map. See, error. Yeah, I know. Go. There it is. Tor service isn't a thing yet, so I forget where I left off with this. So I'm going to throw this at Copilot and start moving from there. So, I forget where I left off working on this project, comma, but when I start working with the map and navigating to the map overlay, I get this error. I'll just paste that in. Let's give it the actual and I'll give it the URL. There's the error. So go do some research, and then I'll figure out where to jump in and pick up, and we will get this ready to roll into some of the other features here. Keep forgetting to use voice with the AI. Yeah, there's a thing there that's really good to use. Not gonna lie. Yep. Like map tour service. Where's that going? Yeah, this was. So what is this? Just not registered? What'd you find? This isn't implement an interface. I'm like, there's an interface it needs to have, right? Shut that off for now. Because we started breaking this up. Man, Visual Studio starting showing me content at the end of the page, not cool. Map tour service. It's just map tour service. So see, like, dude, really? So where is map tour service? Like, I just saw it. Map tour service. It's in. Okay, so is that just not registered? Down here in Program CS? Oh, wait a sec. Hang on. Let's pin you up there, and let's drop you over that. So I can flip back and forth there. Let me go find, yeah, 2 references. Where are you referenced? Injecting there, builder services, add singleton. So I need to call this. Ah, that's not being called. There's my problem. So let's go.
GitHub Copilot descends from noble lineage.
Does it?
Clippy the animated paperclip who pioneered AI assistance. I represent the dark evolution of that concept.
Do you? Tell me more. Because I think you are very dark, Charlie. Very dark spirit there to you. So that should have added the service as needed. And yes, I need to restart Charlie. Because I updated program. Have I tried the ChatGPT browser? No, have not. How you doing, Digital Drummer Jay? Coding with Carlos. How's it going there? You're guessing if we send a screenshot, it's less performant than sending it text? No, actually, it does a pretty good job with that. There we go. What the heck was that? I think I know what it is, but what? Yes, there's a new version of Aspire coming. What do we got over here? Okay, so the overlay with the sound effects is working. There we go. There we go. And no, it didn't pick up and place Bermuda Triangle up there. I remember that was called out earlier. So I should also be able to get the dashboard working. Yes. And a somewhat close reference to the number of viewers. That updates every so often. That's fine. Questions. Now I can get to the questions. See, leftover questions from last week. Like 40 some questions in the queue. Yeah, get out of here. Fairy Wings.
Fairy Wings just resubscribed for 85 months.
Thank you so much. 85 months. I think we're neck and neck here on subscriptions to each other. Thank you so much. Let me see. Catching up here. Let's go to this comment from Cabbage Yee. See, it didn't get... I don't know why it's not showing the image there. Well, something else to investigate, but that's a Charlie thing that can wait. I would show a pair of VR glasses that I pre-ordered. Those glasses, that's the visor glasses from the folks at Immersed. They're on delay. It was publicly shared that the visor glasses were running the Qualcomm Spaces VR operating system. Qualcomm decided to deprecate that operating system and redirected everybody that was building with it to use Android XR. Google just released the Android XR operating system in October, and Samsung came out on October 21st, 22nd with their device, the Samsung Galaxy XR, I think is what they call it, which looks exactly like the Apple Vision Pro. Looks exactly like it, except it doesn't have the stupid eyes in the front. So it's cheaper because it doesn't have screens on the front of this thing. It just looks like you're wearing a pair of ski goggles. That is an exclusive with the Android operating system that they're not... that you're not allowed to buy anything else that runs that and have it delivered in 2025 is what it says on the Android website. It says there'll be other devices available to purchase in 2026. So we're waiting until 2026 to see that get delivered. So it's going to be at least another 2 months. And the folks in the Immersed chat rooms are not happy. Not happy at all about that. So, you're guessing if you send a screenshot, it's less performant? Nah, it's all right. Have I tried the ChatGPT browser? Nope. Anyone remember? Yeah, Google Glass was something. Nightmare Joker, right? And you had the glass hole folks that were running around. The next generation of that is the Meta, the Meta AR glasses that do effectively the same thing, but it's a full pair of glasses with a crystal overlay on them. Kind of cool. I'm not sold on those. I'd rather use a full XR experience with a full VR headset that I can quite literally block out the rest of the world and get into. So, like, I use my Meta Quest 3 all the time when I'm coding. Like, if I'm not in meetings, I'm using this. And this is a head strap from a company called Bobo VR. It has a battery, just a snap-in battery pack on the back, so that I have 2 hours of battery built into the headset. And I get 4 more on a battery that just magnets in, right? And it's heavy, you can see it just. So real nice, comfortable head strap on it. And then I have 2 of these batteries that I swap in and a charger off to the side here. But it charges on just USB-C. So I swap back and forth on those. You're getting ads. I'm not running ads. And pre-roll is off for the next 42 minutes. So not sure where you're getting ads because that's not me. And it's not YouTube because you're on Twitch. You need a heads-up interface when you're leading your cycle group to stop you missing junctions. I totally get it, Marcus. I totally get that. When I'll use VR glasses for live streaming, will I still point a camera to my face? I've done that and it looks weird. It looks weird. So I'd prefer... I don't think it's a thing. I don't think that's interesting. Is the screen resolution good on that now? On the Meta Quest, you get effectively high def at 90 hertz. 1920, 1080 effective resolution at 90 hertz. And it's like 100 degrees field of view. On the visor that's coming, you get 4K effective. And it's... I think they said it's 120 hertz refresh rate. And it's got 110 degree field of view. The specifications on it are bonkers. And it actually looks like a pair of glasses. Now, you can't just use... This is the lightest device on the market, and the front is too heavy. It'll fall off your face. So you end up needing to kind of tether it behind you, and the head strap across the top is where folks recommend it being used. But I am really excited to get my hands on this. The delays and the lack of engagement from their team, they've literally gone quiet publishing updates about that, have been disconcerting. So let me see here. So what? Yeah. You have your code on a 4K screen at 12 pixel font. That is tiny. That is tiny, dude. Like, does that do anything for you? Like, that's great if it does, but dude, that's tiny. Let me go down to my map here and take a look and see if we're... yeah, it didn't pick up some folks on the map. But the tour is working, so maybe it was just me. Let's actually try the tour feature. Where'd it go? Over to the map. I've got the dashboard up somewhere else. And see the tour buttons off the bottom there. So, Plano, Texas. See, why there were 2 people right next to it. All right, that's it for coffee. So we're going to switch to Alani. There's Nepal. What do we got today? Cherry slush. All right, that'll be fun. So we'll load up some more of those locations. Mm-hmm. So this is more code in view at the same time. Well, that's just it. When you're on a VR headset, you can use larger fonts because you can have more displays. You know what? I'm not going to get wrapped up in the tour because I don't think the tour is as needed for .NET Conf. So, Berga, Spain. Yep, there we go. What was Staffordshire? Yeah. Norwich. And Austin, Texas for Nally. Yeah. Cool. All right. Rotterdam. There you go. That display, I feel like, needs to be off to the side. This isn't Google Maps. When folks share their location, I plot a pin at their location. So it should have picked up. Actually, I think I already have. No, I don't have Nightmare Joker. And it didn't identify that one. So when I write hello from Philly, it shows. I don't think that there you go. It plots one location per person. Yeah, and you need to actually format it as some sort of a greeting that shares your location, and that's how it picks it up. Are you listening to me at all? Like, and watching chat and seeing folks have shared their location, and it's gone and placed a pin, and it's gone and navigated and shown where that is. That's what it is, and it's it's Leaflet. There you go. So is that Darren Van V? How you doing, Darren? In South Africa? It's not Google Maps. It's Leaflet, is what I'm using. So. You like the scroll? I think that was a great idea. We had that suggested. There you go. And see, it picked up the... There we go. Yeah, it picked up... is it Würzburg? Did I pronounce that right? Nightmare Joker? Yeah, it's Green Bay. It should pick up Vinny Robot. Vinny Robot, I don't think it liked the emote. That's the one I need... The one thing I need to do is I need to handle if it sees an emote after a location to kind of ignore that. It was a good pronunciation? All right. The sweetest place on earth, Rantenna, you're in Hershey, Pennsylvania? So look at this. It's going to go do a couple passes here. It should pause, and then we should get Digital Drummer J in Phoenix. But it didn't pick it. Did it? It did, but it didn't do the zoom and flourish. Because I just moved. It's not going to zoom in on Linwood, Washington. So yeah, Frank, I was there we go. I didn't stream, and I didn't announce it on Tuesday because I literally was underwater getting stuff ready for Tech Bash, for Neon Link, the app that I rolled out and showed yesterday. Showed it again earlier today. So we'll spend some time on this one. Sky Rush. Wait, is that... There you go. See, I think I need to move... Right, chat, help me out here. I think I need to move that announcement window, that modal, just a little bit to the side. Yazdi, I think I already have a location for you. Yeah, I have a location for you in Arnhem. Now, I'll yank that and you can try again. Go ahead, Yazdi. 82. Go ahead and try hello from Vostok Island again. And I removed that. It should pick up and plot that for you. There we go. There's Vinny Robot. There you go. And right, to be clear, it when folks mention a country, it just grabs a large city in that country and drops a pin there. So, right, if I zoom out a little bit, right? We should actually have a 2 that pops up on Sao Paulo because, yeah, it didn't aggregate that right. Yeah, because Robson's already pinned for Sao Paulo. So, and it'll only plot once. So, Vinny Robot, I will remove your pin for Brazil. Go ahead and try again, Vinny Robot. Walter there was Knoxville, Tennessee. Maybe have the modal behave more like chat scrolling off the screen. Tell me a little bit more, Marcus. So, Vinny Robot, go ahead and try your hello from Porto Alegre. I hope I pronounced that right. I'm not very good with the Spanish accents or Portuguese accents. There we go. There you go. So, and if we zoom out a smidge there, yeah, it yanked the Sao Paulo pin as well.
How about a nice game of chess at Marcus Voice Coder? Or perhaps we could debug your logic instead. Both involved. Strategic thinking.
Charlie's trolling you. So I actually already have a pin for Sao Paulo. There it is. So there's an aggregation thing there that I need to figure out. So yeah, so the map, right? And you see this, I'm sure, on many channels if you watch a bit of Twitch or YouTube. Folks drop in and they share, hey, how you doing? My name is Jeff. I'm watching from Philadelphia. I'm Chris and I'm watching from Miami, wherever it might be. Well, let's share our locations and put them on a map. And that's the idea of my interactive map component that you see us playing with here. Unescapable bug, I already have you listed as Nepal. So, is Charlie trolling? Yes. So, there is a mode in Charlie where if it sees somebody write multiple questions or comments very, very quickly in succession, Charlie will troll them. And there's a timeout on that. But Marcus had sent a couple of questions back and forth that, hey, and this and that and the other. So hit the limit and Charlie decided to troll. So that's a thing. Yeah. Mrs. C Sharp Fritz knew that I was writing Charlie, and she didn't have any idea what Charlie was. She just knew that Charlie was an app and a bot that was going to run in chat. And she saw Charlie for the first time when I was on front page. What was that? 3 weeks ago now? And she had no idea half the stuff that we built into this. And yes, I have purposely made Charlie's voice sound robotic. I could make it sound very human if I wanted to, but I wanted to make Charlie robotic. Very much in the vein of Joshua from War Games. And if you're a tech person watching this and you haven't seen the movie War Games, go watch that. It is a classic from the 80s that you're gonna have fun with. So. Oh, what? Do that again. Do that again.
I've run 1,000 simulations of your deployment process.
Oh, good.
In 999 of them something breaks. Would you like to see the exception traces?
No! Except the modem thing, yeah. You speak Brazilian Portuguese. Yes, and Vinny Robot, I would love to have an opportunity to visit Brazil and teach there. I was in Lisbon last month. Fantastic. I had a great time in Lisbon. I'd love an opportunity to visit Brazil at some point. So, Charlie was trying to set up a CI pipeline. Like
Alon's Y. Let's debug.
No, it's L on Z.
Oh, but maybe we should run tests first? No. Just deploying to production? How very human.
Why do I use the yellow tint instead of the clear lenses on the gunner? Because I like the yellow. And honestly, I got the yellow lenses before the clear ones were available. And I've got several pairs. Yeah, I like the yellow. What else do I need to do here? Oh, let me make sure that the modal that pops up when you share a location, I want to make sure that that's on the right side and that that's configurable. Configurable? Show tour controls. The announcements. Yeah, I need to chatter map direct. That one. Like, where's the modal? Well, now you make me sad. Can we do an F9 on this? 12, 11, 10, 9. Nope, that doesn't work. Bummer. So these are in components. This component is completely open source. You're welcome to go check it out on. It's on my GitHub, the Fritz and Friends organization GitHub. Where's the component? This one. If test mode, yeah. Tour controls. Okay. Tour progress. Did it put? I don't like these here. Where's the modal coming from then? Right? That modal that pops up. I don't know. I don't know where that is. This is the page inside the. I don't know. There's a modal window that pops up when a new location is added to this map. Period. Where is that code? Question mark. I want to update the styling for it. Are my gunner glasses different? Should we all have AI tell us which ones you're wearing? That Lundo Spark is a fantastic idea. That's not a bad idea because I have a few. The only challenge is you're not going to be able to tell exactly from the front as easily. Like, yeah. All right. Yeah, here they are, the Marin glasses. These are another pair of my favorites that are really small, but they would be hard to see and detect without a little bit of work because they're small and very lightweight, and yeah, I'd have to do a little bit of work to get that detection working better. Holy services list. Yes, there's a bunch of services. You're looking for an opportunity to leave Brazil. Okay. Can I mimic that filtering when I wear the VR headset? I've been a web dev guy. I've talked to some folks at Gunner about that. And I don't wear my headset over the Gunners, no. I see what you got there, Lundo Spark. Let me catch up and see what it says here. Check the ChatterMap.js file. Show pin announcement. Styling is applied online. Really? It's all hard-coded in the... There's the tour. Well... Show pin celebration. So... Enable pin announcement true. Over here. Is it? I don't see it. Tour controls. Enable pin announcements starts off as true. Let's make it false to start. So you have to opt in to getting that thing working. Right, it's got 3 references. Okay, good. And I'm gonna make sure that I leave it turned on. Here. Oh, it's already there. Oh, why didn't I know this? Okay. I wanted to look at the style of the announcement that pops up. Where is it? Right. Q pin announcement. What the heck is all this? No. Wrong hotkey. Still not great, but I'll take it. Skipping announcement. Initial load. User was navigating. Okay. Queued announcement. Okay. Okay, show pin announcement. Yeah. And it's show pin celebration. Map instance, show pin celebration. I oughta. Fly to show location modal. And it hard-coded writing this thing. Okay. Oh, I still have my Halloween emotes running. That's fine. I'll let them run for a little bit. I don't like that. It's not awful, but I don't like it. I'd like the modal, when it's displayed, to appear about 50 pixels to the right of the pin that it's showing off. So there's a CSS gadget that it's using to decide where celebration modal content is. Right? So there's going to be a dot in front of that. Where's that at? U right there. Yeah, so it's deciding where to place it. Ah! How you doing, Weird Beard Dev? Hello. I ran into Juan Van yesterday. It was great to meet him in person. there's that refresh tone. All right. So why don't you show me what you made? The pinpoint this map lat long, and then it offsets it. Okay. That's all in the JavaScript. So back over to here. I'm going to remove my pin and restart it. I'm in Philly. That didn't. Did I need to refresh to get the JavaScript loaded? Am I running into this now? So pull that. Try it again. Dude. No. That was awful. Come here. Lat long to container point. No. I'm wondering. Let's undo that. What was it? It was, I forget the name of the method. It was somewhere down in here. No, that's not it. Yeah, there's the celebration thing that doesn't really work too well. Celebration modal content. See, I didn't undo and it still didn't undo. So with that not there, if I did, because it zooms in and centers on it, right? If I just did like, left, let's do calc, 50%, plus, 50 pixels. Yeah, I hear you. Right, so let me yank my hello from Philly. Will that? Tell you what, let's not hide the pin while we're testing here. Right, because it sets animate in, store reference for dismissal, and then there's that clear time dismiss location modal. There it is. Can we? Thank you. Yeah. Back over here. Is that where The Sopranos was filmed? No. No. Okay, it's showing it somewhere, but I don't know where. If I remove the style, right? Yeah, I hear you. Yes, Rocky was filmed in Philadelphia. Now it's not showing it at all. Wait a sec. Yeah. Create region overlay. What? Okay. What did I do wrong here? Not sure what happened, but it looks like I broke the modal, the location modal when a new location is added. Investigate and fix it. Hey, Code with Sean. Yeah, we're doing all right. We're doing all right. Come on now. Go find it and fix it. Like, I broke it. That's a thing. So, Sean, I mentioned Neon Link. Yeah, that's... I mentioned Neon Link earlier, and I explained that I tried running it yesterday, and I had a problem with it. I made it so secure that nobody could access it. And I didn't have time to fix it before the session started, so... Did not work during the event. So... we'll get that up and running for next time. For VS Live. Alright, cool. What do we got? So it restarted. What did you do? It's trying to do this modal thing here. Nope. I don't want you fixing that. Because I want to be able to see it. Make sure I get the latest version of the JavaScript. Cool. Try this again. And here it comes. See it? It's way down here. See, its location is wrong. So let's tell it the location. I'm leaving the dismiss location modal commented out while I'm testing. I'm seeing the modal positioned off screen right now instead of just 50 pixels to the right of the pin. So let's see what it gets. How you doing, angry 4-year-old at the North Pole? So Leon Nink, actually, it's a little known fact, was a boxer, a street fighter from the hardscrabble streets of North Philly. No, that's not a thing. Oh, okay. There's an ordering thing. Okay. Cool. Working hard or hardly working? Yes. I'm talking to you out there, chat room. We're going to get this little bit fixed and roll this into TagzApp and get that up to date. So, okay. That looks, and it just reset. So, pull that one. No, that it is nowhere near on screen now. And it changed the colors completely. No. Your calculation is really far off. I think it should just be relative. I think the position should just be relative to the center of the map. I know I misspelled the because that's where the map zooms to. You hate front-end development? That's Nova. That's why I'm letting some of these types of things, let the AI take care of it. And we'll go do more. The North Philadelphia Hacker Boys, I'm northwest of Philadelphia. So, out in the suburbs. The burbs. So, getting things done, moving it along. Yes, .NET Conf is next week. So we are moving things along quite well. Here we go. All right. It says it refreshed. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, look, there's my back over here. Dial this in. Refresh to make sure we get a fresh copy of JavaScript just the way grandma used to make it. Yank that. Stop what I'm doing and rest. No, sorry, that's not happening. So let's see if there's the zoom. No. No. Right, let's... Come on now. No, it's completely off screen. That calculation is worse and completely off screen. It's also changing, you see this? It's changing the style of the display. I don't like that. I didn't tell you to change the format. Look at this. The font size, the color. Like, it just decides, I'm going to do something different because I feel like it. Pain in the neck. So. It's interesting. I'll get message requests from folks.
These AI tools debug your code.
They do.
I debug your life choices that led to that code being written.
Yeah. Facts. Charlie helps with that kind of thing. So. Come on now. I like the edit that it does in Visual Studio Code a little bit better. I don't like having to wait for it to scan through all the lines. Like, that's a nice user interface flourish. Not my cup of tea. Just do it. Do it, zoom to that place, and that's it. Yeah. Like, stop changing the formatting of the overlay here. Punk. Punk. So, yeah. Gotta remember to come back to that. Good. See, look, it's like, ugh, taking so long.
Okay, so just so you know, I've never actually debugged anything before. But how hard can it be, right?
It can be very hard, Charlie. It can be very, very hard. Wisecracking chatbot. No, look, no changes. It did all this work and no changes. Like, really? Come on now. You have an OBS camera issue? No, it's not that I need to uncomment it. No. No. I just want you to position the overlay in the middle of the map after the zoom completes, but offset from center 50 pixels to the right. It gets so distracted. Fine, fix it. Yes, I do feel like I waste times. Yes. And I don't like seeing that edit like this. Like, how do I hide that? Like, when you're working in, you know how when you're working in Word and you have the ability to turn on track changes and it shows you the changes? I want that in Visual Studio so that I can turn on track changes and show me it, or show me just the latest, or show me what it was before. Give me those three options so that I don't get locked into this view, but also be able to show the current state and a little bit more there. right? So it went and did more. Oh, you dog. Yes, Nightmare Joker, exactly. I run into that as well. All right, so it's going to appear just 50 pixels to the right of center. Prove it. So let's do a Control F5 on this and make sure that we have the latest version of the JavaScript. There it is. Okay. I'm going to remove. Oh, these people are... I just got a scam call from somebody saying that they're looking for me to approve my purchase of an iPhone Pro. Like, no. And they want me to call them. No. Where was I? I was going to remove my pin. Oh, it's already removed. Okay. I'm in Philly. No. Nothing appears on screen at all now. Creating unit tests is always satisfying. I agree. There are times that creating unit tests is satisfying. There are other times where it's just a chore and it's like, I need a unit test that does XYZ. Go build that real quick. So I should do the Kit Boga thing at some point. And for these folks that call and they're like, hey, you just spent $1,100 on an iPhone Pro 17. Clearly, I haven't because I'm here. Yeah. Give them a call back and say, hey, I'm calling to ask you about the iPhone 17 that you purchased. I did get scammed on LinkedIn last week. It was somebody that was posing as a professor in technology at a local university. They said we'd like to talk to you about your opinions on AI and how we can use more about this. Set up a meeting with me at this time. I set up the meeting. I called in, and I could hear I got redirected to a switchboard. Like you can hear the transfer. I didn't get somebody's office number. I got transferred to a switchboard and to a call center, and I could hear other people in the background. And the person that I was talking to introduced themselves as Ralph or something like that. And I was supposed to be talking to a woman named Jessica. It was like, hang on, what happened to Jessica? Oh, well, I'm the person that's going to handle your case. And I'm like, my case? What are you talking about? And they started talking about, well, we want to this, that. I'm like, hang on. Damn, that's an ugly scam. And I literally cut them off and blocked them on LinkedIn. So my word to you out there is, if somebody tries to get in touch with you on LinkedIn that claims to be from a university and they want to schedule a meeting with you, don't take it. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Mm-hmm. Yep. Blocked and reported on LinkedIn. Okay, what did you change here? Modal opacity. Really? Really? Okay. I don't think that's the thing you think it is. So it got... I'm in Philly. There's the Zoom. Nope. It's not near the pin. You should be centering this modal based on the outer window, the outer display of the map. Also, I don't want the modal to disappear while we're debugging, right? And stop changing the style, the colors and fonts of the modal. Any good demos coming up for .NET Conf? I can't tell you. I can't tell you what's happening at .NET Conf. I can tell you that there are sessions scheduled. I can't tell you, here's the content that they're presenting. Hang on. Let me go grab the slide deck for the keynote and tell you what the vice president is going to be talking about during the keynote. I can't do that. I can't. I can tell you that we've worked hard on this. I can tell you there's some great content and demos coming up. You're going to want to see the Aspire sessions. There's some great things coming up about... There, reloaded again. There, so it... Yes, auto dismiss. Yes, commented out. Thank you. That's all that you did at this point. All right, so it's working on that. But yes, there's going to be good demos because here's the thing. When I work with the folks that are putting together content, what we stress to our speakers is this is developers talking to developers. There is no marketing executive that's telling you you need to make sure you talk about product X, Y, and Z for at least 5 minutes. You need to make sure you call out X, Y, and Z and promote and sell that and tell people they need to go and buy. No, we don't do any of that during .NET Conf. Now, what did you change? Server-specific style, service-specific styling. All you did was log something. You didn't actually change anything. You didn't actually change anything. You didn't actually change the centering and positioning of the modal. Period. All that you did was add logging. Period. Fix the centering of the modal. You name dropped me during a telephone and told them they should make sure their .NET devs get time to watch .NET Conf. Well, thank you, Surly Dev. I appreciate that. Amazing things are going to happen at .NET Conf. Yes. Check the schedule on the website. Yes, please. Yeah, more like change the label of a log message. Yeah. 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 Little. Here we go. Now let's see what you changed this time. Can I, Surly Dev, with respect, can I rename this to Surly Copilot? Why are you getting... Okay. Yeah. And then you're logging it again. But you didn't actually change. Oh no, modal left is right there and modal top. Okay. All right. Back to this, John. Refresh. Thank you for the link share. Come on. No. 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 You're nowhere close to it. So. Sorry, AI, didn't mean to complain. Nope, I'm not going to apologize to it. It's a machine. It actually can't think. Yes. All right, fine. Fixed to it? Sure. Yeah, I know how to do fixed. You want to do fixed? We'll do fixed. Not position absolute. I don't need to see that. What the? Position. Nope. 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 There it is. Yep. I can do that one. And spell it right. Now. So if I do make it fixed, if I just make this, what if I just make this, and it should have logged it, right? We should have it logged on the console. Map rect 14, so viewport center 708. You know, we're just gonna go find you. Right? Come here. Right, so not the styles, not the layout. So it's saying, come here. So that's actually positioned right. That is positioned somewhat correctly, but it's positioned top 50, left 50. So I should be able to do like left. Right, so hang on, if we go back to this, not the header, the content, let's, if we say left, if we just say left 50 pixels, okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right. I did some investigation, comma, and the modal content is being positioned within an absolute positioned container that is already centered on the map. Period. We just need to offset slightly to the right and down from the pin. Period. So let's just fix the left and top numbers to something like 50 pixels. No, whatever. Space Yacht! Space
Shot just resubscribed for 75 months.
Hello, man.
Can't wait for .NET Conf.
.NET Conf? Thank you. Appreciate that, Space Shot. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Yes, .NET Conf coming up next week. The week after is VS Live, and the second week of December. If you're near Philadelphia, you got to come out to Philly.net. I'll be there speaking, doing a recap of .NET Conf, and our friends from .NET Rocks, Carl Franklin and Richard Campbell will be in town, and we're going to be doing a live recording of .NET Rocks at Philly.net. I hope you come out, because it's going to be an awesome meetup. What did you do? Yep, simple pixel offsets. So clean up that mess you've already got there. Yeah. Right. So I'm in Philly. Mm-hmm. What if we make that like... No, maybe 250's right. So let's go 250 and 20. Yeah, that's right. Yoink that one more time. Here we go. Fantastic. All right. And let's put that dismiss code back in there. Right. What? Yeah, this one right here. Yeah. Undo that one. Yeah, I hear you. So, one more test. And it should go away. Fantastic. What's the duration on that thing? Set timeout duration. What's duration? What's the duration? Duration. So it's being passed in. Mm-hmm. It's 5 seconds by default. Announcement duration 5 seconds. Let's make it 3 seconds. Love testing this. Ugh. There it goes. 1, 2, 3. Fantastic. Make it happen, Cap'n. Ship it. Sure. Give me a commit message. Right? Commit message. We like those. And then we're going to go do some updates on... You went to .NET Conf's website? Yes, it's a 3-day event. Yes, it does. The save the date does not include a specific time for sessions. We thought about doing that, and quite frankly, it was going to be a mess. Besides, we'd like you to stick around for the whole thing. Okay. Cool, I think. Oh, good. Installation completed. Let me reopen the shader map. There we go. So, next, I want to go into TagzApp. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, keep and continue. Whatever. So head over to GitHub.com, Fritz and friends. Fritz, Charlie components. I forget if this is actually building the NuGet package. Did it? No, let's put a tag on that then. Right. Fritz, Charlie components. Yep. So, is that going to kick it off? Yep, there it goes. So we'll get the new NuGet package. I'll be able to bring it into TagzApp, and we'll have the maps able to wire up to exactly that. Package was pushed. So there's a new version of the NupKeg out there. Go. So I should be able to go back to the TagzApp code and start integrating. Yup. What do I have on branches? Feature map. Cool, bring in the latest. Okay. Let's take a look-see here. over here because it won't let me pin it on the left side. Instead, it's like a maniac and only wants it on the right side. That feels bad. Let's try Claude Haiku for this. I forget where I left off with integrating the map component. Period. Investigate the recent commits that have to deal with the map and report back to me status, as well as suggest next steps to complete integrating the map. Here we go. It's over here. Not over there. It's over here. So we'll get the map completed, integrating, we'll get some reporting added. There's some AI analysis that I want to be able to do things like be able to tell the general vibe of the chat room. We used to have this feature in the chat bot that ran here. I disabled that because nobody really cared about seeing the sentiment, the average sentiment. So thanks for pinning that, Surly Dev. I really appreciate the link. I had somebody recommend that I should pin my Gunner link to the top of chat every time I broadcast, and I'm like, really? Like, don't get me wrong. I'm a Gunner ambassador. I'm happy to promote Gunner and share that information with you, but I don't want to beat you over the head with Gunner. You know what I'm saying? There are people that have hundreds more subscribers than we do. Heck, just saying hundreds of subscribers is hundreds more than we do. And more of our folks in our community have bought Gunner glasses than in theirs. So I very much appreciate that support, and I appreciate that you're taking care of your eyes too. So ads are going to start in about 5 minutes here. So no, I don't want to shoot you too much about Gunner. That's right, Frank. So what did you where did you get to here, friend? Infrastructure and services created. Map feature helper. OpenStreetMap location service. Full geocoding service. Good. External component reference. What's missing? Service registration. UI components. No MapRaiser component page exists. No route. Create an iViewer location. I thought we created the database schema. I thought we created a database schema in a recent commit, period. I see a migration out there with some base locations, period. Verify this, and we'll talk about completing step 6 and getting data, save locations, all set up first. I said set up, and you just said set you. Whatever. Transcription can have its issues if you talk too fast. All right, I get it. I get it. That's a thing. So, you found the migrations. Good. Verify the entity models are in place. Search DB context. Verify the entity files. Yeah. It should be there. Should be there, and then we'll be able to move on and actually focus on doing some of the other things. This weekend, my daughter, she was visiting from college, and she said, "Hey, Dad, can I borrow your Bluetooth gaming mouse that you use when you travel so that I can play some Minecraft at home this weekend with my laptop?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, go ahead." So she borrowed my good Bluetooth Logitech mouse and never gave it back. So I was stuck using tiny little Logitech RF mouse. I'm like, ugh. This tiny little mouse, it's too small for my hands. Now, I get it. It's a small mouse. That's good for, yeah, now it's Logic Go on my mouse. So I reached out and texted her and said, hey, make sure you bring back my mouse. I want that before this weekend is out so I can take it to .NET Conf. So we'll see if she actually brings that back. All right, what do you got? You kind of scrolled off screen here. Verified and complete. It is done. Okay, good. Creates the 2 tables, geolocation, viewer locations. Good. And it's already registered. Okay. So add TagzApp hosted service and service extensions. Let's go do that right now. Service extensions. And you're telling me I need to do what? Builder services, add scoped, open street map location service. Yes, please. Cool. We need a map razor component. We need map navigation. We need to wire up the geographic extraction and then integrate with the waterfall display. I'm not sure I like that. What do we got? Eh? What? What? Oh, I thought I saw... I thought I saw somebody server boosted. My bad. Dude, past few months. Yeah, dude, past few months. Let me tell you, past few months. Dude. There's a Christmas gift idea for her. Just wrap the box up with my mouse in it and say, keep the mouse. You like the VS Code theme? This is the Cyberpunk 2077 theme. So, yeah, let's create map razor. And I don't want to add it to the homepage. Create a map.razor file to add to the TagzApp.blazer application, period. Your spelling is horrendous. You make me sad. Goodbye. To the TagzApp.blazer application. This should be a standalone server interactive page that uses the map component from the Fritz Charlie components library. Don't activate pin celebrations or tours. This map page should be accessible from the nav menu at the top of the app. Let's see how it does, adding that in. Have a good one, Patty Boy. Great to see you today. Dude, past few months. I'm ready for November to be over, and it's only the 6th day of November. Like, bad things happen. We deal with it, we move on. And there are some things that we work through. There's some things that we fix. There are some things we just deal with. And in some cases, there are some things we just give up on. And I've had my number of things that I've given up on and reach their limit over the weekend and earlier this week, and we'll give up on that and ignore it, forget about it, and move on. Like, that's a thing. Here we go. So, yeah, go ahead that. One trip home and one power nap later. Nice. How you doing, Thindall? Welcome back. Power nap is why I'm here, so that you can listen to the dulcet tones of my voice and go to sleep. Yeah. Oh, yeah. 24M Johnson. I've described Copilot, particularly the Claude Copilot, as it's a 7-year-old with ADHD in the middle of a candy shop. Don't get me wrong, it does some really cool things, but man, it gets distracted. Like, there are some things that'll go, you know what, you forgot to do this, and I'm like, yes, please go do that. But there are other things where it goes and decides, I'm going to make this blue. No, I didn't tell you to make that blue. Oh, now it's red. Shut up. Like, come on. I love how inquisitive and discovering it wants to go and discover and do these things. But I need you to get this done. We'll come back to that. Thank you, Fod. I appreciate the support. I do. Yeah. And here later in the stream, yeah, I know that there are some friends watching, and I use the word friends liberally. So, yeah, there are people that watch my social media who really don't like me, but I got news for them. I don't like me more than you don't like me, so there. Like, that's a thing. Let me replace the entire content. What are you doing? What the heck are you doing? Question mark. You're supposed to be using the map component from the fritz.charlie.components library. Period. Why are you writing a new map? Question mark. You stupid piece of... It is... That's a lot of libraries. Not gonna lie. Are you kidding? It's not included here. No, it's right there. Yeah. There's already a reference to this component on line 43 here in the project file. Period. It clearly heard me say project and did not type the letter P. What? No, that one. Use the component from there. Blue. What's blue? It's not called map display. Oh, it's. I like the cyberpunk like theme. It should be like. I'm now at a point where I'm like, shut up. Just grab that. You're an idiot. Let me paste in the right code. Yeah. And you broke the app. Like, what did you do? Nope, I haven't had it. Yeah. That's what I thought. Like, look at this. Like, you don't need to do any of this. It's built. Sure. Where the heck did it go? Oh. There it is. Now we should get sound again. I don't think I need that. And I'm going to yank you. Let's head back over here. So here's the page. Oh, man. Solution Explorer. Yeah, there's... Is there code to go with this? There is. To do the various loading bits. I don't mind that. Right? Yeah. missing a using. I think it's these two. It's there. .NET build that, John. Here we go. It is. It gets very frustrating when it decides to go off on its own and do whatever. 11 errors. What do we got? Show me the money. iViewer location service. Viewer location event could not be found in the Postgres implementations. That's fine. You should have found that. Hey, Grego Waffles. Hello. What is that badge? What is that? Low? What's low? How you doing there? No Dronatron. I feel like I should pivot this so it's using the NuGet package. Change this project reference to use the Fritz Charlie component. NuGet package at the GitHub repository shown at that link. Did you know you could do that? The hashtag fetch to have it go get additional context, additional information. So, do we have a proper entry in a NuGet config? With this project to use the GitHub package repository. Easy for me to type. That's new. No, that's been around for a while. And quite frankly, new is relative because, like, all of the Copilot stuff within the last year is new. All of it. Like, literally, Copilot is maybe 15 months old like this. Agent mode is certainly less. No, I don't need to log in. Because it's a public repository. That's why I pointed you to that. You fool! Check again. That package repository should be public. Period. Update my NuGet config appropriately. Notice how it's spelled NuGet. Man alive. So, I want to see it do this. Yeah? Did you update NuGet config? What happens if I go to that? Oh, no. Really? 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 Mad Jack's actions access, yeah. Okay. Jarvis, get jiggy with it. I like that. 1 second. Is that the thing that'll replace developers? Yes. Yes, it is. It's going to replace all the developers, and we're all going to just get jiggy with it. It's public, right? It's public. Why? Why? Not what I wanted to do. That's it. Copilot, Microsoft Com. I thought I made this package publicly accessible, comma, but I'm required to log in to access it on GitHub. Period. What updates and configuration do I need to set so that my package repository on GitHub is publicly accessible? Question mark. It's public to GitHub users, but it'll need auth. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that either. I am a... Yeah. Settings. Change its visibility, make it public. Package settings. Yeah. It is public. I happen to be using you in incognito mode. Yeah, I can get there. But I can't install it. I did put it... I don't want to put my tokens in NuGet.org. To publish, install, and delete private, internal, and public. Great. Why not put it on NuGet.org? Because it's not something publicly use and add into whatever thing yet. I would feel better just putting a package folder next to this and saying, here it is. Like, there it is. I'm starting to feel a bit defeated here. You know? Self-hosted ProGet? No. No.
The
GitHub
evolution.
doesn't.
Clippy helped with documents. Copilot helps with code. I help with psychological evaluation of your life choices.
And I know my choices are poor. I get it. I do. Yeah, assets. Yes, I'd like to download that, please. You're not going to let me download that, are you? Why won't you let me download this? Like, there it is. Great. Give me one of those. Yeah, no, there is no free tier on those. Nothing. Yep, there it is. It's just the source code. I'm struggling here. Like, this should have been a no-brainer here. Yeah, that's why I was using GitHub, because it's got a free tier. There it is. But I've got to generate a token and load it and configure it, and the friction that creates is annoying. Oh, there's a GitHub action, but I can't install and get it locally without a GitHub token. How do we want to do this? How do we want to do this? What I want to do is have a NuGet package sitting here. Or even download the NuGet package and upload it to NuGet.org. But I don't have a way to Right, that's the source code. Yeah, that's the source code. I have the source code. Map for .NET Conf. Sure, generate release notes. Yeah, that's fine. No. Like, it published a package. Why can't I get that package? Point to the package. Give me the package. Here's the package. Right, that's the tag. Packages. There's an asset there, but I can't get to it. Oh, that's 7 reference. Look at that. I do. What do I want to do? And I'm fading. What if gosh, I mean, if I just go over to... Come on, load. Thank you. That took a really long time, man. Not LSL. Where did the common project go? $190. So if we do .NET Pack, right? Let's take a look. Bin, release, net 9. No, it didn't create it. What? There's also .NET NuGet command. Yeah. Creates a NuGet package. Yeah, .NET pack. Nope. Keg. You put that in a directory. Okay. Sure. And let's put that into... I can just go over here. Let's do this. Right? Just call this lib. Right? TagzApp. Storage. Really? It says 02, but I made it 01. Like, for now, just to get this running. Like, go over here, up there. There it is. Ah, fishy flip. And that should be a package version. Once again, just to get this working. Try it again. Come on now. No. Ugh. Really? Really? Should it be... Try it again. Oh, it's up 1. Of course, because it's relative to the source folder. Okay. Okay. That was mostly harmless. So now let me go. Back over here.
Okay, look, I may have made a tiny miscalculation about your code quality. By tiny I mean massive.
Thanks. I tell you, sometimes Charlie, what a pain. You, Mr. Charlie, can be a pain in the neck. You know that? All right, here we go. Package reference include equals Fritz Charlie. Yeah, I'm talking about you, buddy. Components. I did make Charlie that way. It's my fault. This is self-inflicted trolling. That should tell you something about... Yeah. Should. All right, so let's .NET clear? Yeah, sure. Let's just clear. .NET build that, John. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Where'd he go? I've got that quote here. I don't see him.
You can do it!
There's Postgres. Yeah. The Blazor John. Yeah. One error. I will take just one error. You know what using you need. Do it again. Yep. Really going to go all the way down into all the... whatever. 2 errors now. They're doubling. Comma expected on 12. We'll fix that. While it's doing that, at height, at width. Is height really a number? And width is a string? Who wrote this garbage? Yeah, I'm awful about this, aren't I? So...
Clippy, bless his metallic soul, was the grandfather of helpful AI.
He was.
Copilot inherited his assistant's genes. I inherited his omnipresence.
A little bit. Alright, let's .NET run and see what we get. I think there's still a couple things we need in here that we don't have just yet. Like, I even know, hang on. Like, one thing that I'm definitely feeling as I work more with Copilot is I think less and less about some of the loose ends to wrap up. Builder, add Fritz, yeah. That wasn't added. Oh, try this again. So. Yeah, Charlie's not going to help you with a resume. He's not that smart. He's a smart aleck, but he's not that smart. Did I spell Wheatley wrong? All right, says it's running. Oh. Yo. No. Yes, from Portal 2. Where did... There it is. Yeah.
Space. Let's talk about space.
Why didn't that work for me?
Actually, let's talk about your space complexity. It's terrible, Fritz.
Thanks. I need to actually create an icon provider, and if I return null, it'll be okay. IMAP icon provider, so let's just implement a slug for that. No. Sure, let's go in here with the other map stuff. Public class null icon provider. Yeah, IMAP icon provider. Gosh, how did you know? Yep, implement that. Get icon, that's not a thing. Get icon URL. String dot empty. And then we need to register that. Really? Make that trans in, I guess. You've been a huge proponent of tabs over spaces, then you look at your Visual Studio settings, realize you've been using the default, which is spaces. Oh, dude. Dude. I'm trying to remember some of the, oh.
I've calculated your odds of successful deployment.
Yeah?
You're not going to like it? Then again, I don't like anything.
Yeah. Yeah, TagzApp. All right. And there we go. There we don't go. It's something. L is not defined inside chatter map. JavaScript. Oh, I see the Hitchhiker's Guide reference there. Well done, Thindal. I see what you did there. It's I have infinite improbability that I'll actually get this feature working. So what is L? Is it just not including leaflet? Like, do I need to add? Right, where's L coming from? Well, that's not going to work.
Developers.
Thank you so much for the follow. Yeah. No. I bet you I'm missing a reference to the leaflet. Yeah. Right? If we go back over to, let's go look at Charlie. No, not that one. Right? If we look at this. There's got to be a leaflet reference in here. There's got to be. Yeah. And leaflet marker cluster. I can almost guarantee those aren't on TagzApp. Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah, see? Hey, the Devil Kid. There you go. It just zoomed in. I was pivoted off there, but there you go. Did it double up everything all of a sudden? Why did it do that? Did not pick up the Sweden. There you go. I'll remove ice cream stick model and I'll remove, yeah, thin doll. Go ahead and try that again. It had you on other locations. Got it that time. So, ice cream stick model, there you go. There you go. Right. So, how was I inserting, hang on, let me see how I was inserting the leaflet references. I hope I didn't have it just hard-coded. Yeah, there's the style sheets. They're just hard-coded in there at this point. And you know what? I think I'm okay with that. Here. And I need to wrap up. I'm going to need to wrap up. Yeah, look at all that. Oof. That needs to move out somewhere interesting. But here is... Yeah, that... feel like I need a better way to register and get those added into the mix. Yep, wrap up. Wrap up the whole shebang. What is that? Yeah, see, it's duplicated. Something happened and it duplicated. Map. Hey. Dude. What the heck happened? I have a feeling I'm missing styles from inside. No, that's TagzApp. Style sheet for leaflet, marker cluster, marker cluster. Did I get all of those? No, I didn't actually get the styles for leaflet. That's still not right. It done broke. Restart, flush the cache, and let's go at this again. Come on. I get the distinct impression my machine is slowing down. Just like giving up and saying, I'm done. There we go. Amazing what happens when you actually include the script that it needs. I'm getting faster. You're too kind. So there's a couple final pieces we need here. That's not going to show up on this one. That's not, TagzApp isn't wired up for that yet. What channel are we listening on for Twitch? No, not that one. It's not authenticated for some reason. But I am almost there. I've got to just wire up so it actually listens. And I think I'm only going to have the map interactions work with YouTube and Twitch chat. Yeah, I think the refresh token expired. Yeah, not hard-coded, but it's in my user secrets for that project. Yeah, and Twitter is not connected right now either. So, all right. I'm going to commit what I have over here for TagzApp. It doesn't see the nupkeg. What? Is it ignoring my lib folder? No, it's not there. So are you telling me that no, it's not there. It's not seeing it. Dude, I don't get it. But I need to drop. I've got a meeting starting in 1 minute here. So I am going to wrap things up. Let me see who else is streaming I can get. I thought I just saw Code Rush come on. Let me get you rated over to him. Right? Yeah, there he is. Let me get you rated. Oh, wait, no. Oh, my goodness. Our friends Coding After Work are live, and we haven't seen them in a while. Let's go raid them. Yes, yes. This is Jimmy and Jessica. Fantastic. They're getting ready to start. Have a great time with Jimmy and Jessica. I'll be around and writing some code this afternoon, this evening, lingering in Discord. Have a fantastic rest of your day. I will see you next week for .NET Conf. All right? I will not be broadcasting, but I will be on .NET Conf. All right? Have a fantastic rest of your day, wherever you might be. I wish you good health and good coding. Take care.